Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. The great fall, Igbi, Ebony, and Gospel dragged into doors as Gospel and Igbi brought elders again to beg Ile-Ife women for forgiveness. This is what we are hearing. If that information is correct, they said the situation in the palace, reached another breaking point when Igbi, Ebony, and Gospel were finally dragged down to the very bottom. Their names, once mentioned with weight and confidence in the palace, had become symbol of, disagreement. The stripping of their immunity had already weakened them, but the latest development showed that their fall was complete. It was Igbi and Gospel who took the first desperate step, knowing that their place in the palace had been destroyed and realizing that the Ifa priest and the Odua, the Lion of Odua, were not going to reverse anything for them. They turned to the women of Ife. These women, respected in the land for their influence, had earlier made it known that they would no longer tolerate arrogance, manipulation, or division from any of, the wives anymore. Like it will never happen again. So once again, they went to the elders and pleaded with them to accompany them to beg the Ile-Ife women for forgiveness. This was not the first time they were begging, and that in its own showed how far they had fallen. The proud posture they once carried is gone. They admitted openly that they had wronged people and they could no longer stand the weight of ejection. The elders, seeing their desperation, agreed to go with them. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Dela Rama. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources, still on the royals. Happy new month still to you. I appreciate you guys so much. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my own people. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my super people. Eshe o, adukpe o. They said on the day of the meeting, Gospel and Igbi knelt before the women. Their voices cracked as they asked for forgiveness. They said they had learned their lessons, that they now understood the value of humility, and that they were willing to live differently if only given another chance. Some of the women shook their head, remembering how the two had once mocked others and carried themselves as though no one could touch them. But still, out of respect for the elders who brought them, the women listened. They said Igbi, on the other hand, Ebony, on the other hand, did not follow them. She remained bitter, isolated, and angry, and that choice made her case worse. But however, you do know that she is going through a lot of problems. Number one, her by her grandmother collapse and all of that, and they are still trying to treat, and they say she left for the UK, and as we are hearing, if the information is correct, because of her grandmother, she is likely to be back in Nigeria on Friday. Now, Gospel and Igbi were at least trying to find the way back into some form of mercy. Ebony refused to bow. Her absence, was noticed, and it confirmed to many that she was still not ready to change her ways. In contrast to all of this disgrace, Queen Naomi's life stood in sharp difference. While the others were on their knees begging for forgiveness, she is in her space praising God. People close to her said that she had turned everything that happened into a testimony, thanking God that he had vindicated her and lifted her above the storms of palace politics. She told those around her that the only reason she stood strong was because God had hand was on her, and she gave him the glory for not letting her be dragged into the dust like others. It is not a small thing. They say the palace has since been buzzing about the contrast. On one side, Gospel and Igbi humbled themselves and begged again for forgiveness from Ile-Ife women, showing how much they had lost. On the other side, Queen Naomi is being celebrated for her resilience, her faith, her God. Now, to many, this has become the perfect example of how things can turn around for anybody who believes in God so, greatly. When this whole thing started, Daylight, I can tell you for free that it was like out of 100%, People supporting Queen Naomi were like 3%. And those for the other people were like 97%. Apart from the only support, everyone was against her. Hi, God, oh. Chineke kigwe, oh. When God stands for you, there's nothing the enemy can do. They may gather in their numbers. God will pull them down all for you. That is exactly what has happened to our baby girl, Olori Naomi. Naomi went through so much. Naomi went through so much. The way they gathered against her. At some point, they began to say that it was a territorial fight. She would never win. She cannot bring her religion to the palace. It's a traditional community. Do you know why God sent her there? Are you God? You are not God. You do not know why she was sent there. You have no reason to begin to think that you can make that kind of decision for her. You are not God. They told her to carry her religion and carry her wahala and everything to go. That whatever it is, it was never going to work in the palace of the Oni of Ife. They do not want her there. Those days when we will be talking, they will say, who know her? Who wants her? And I don't see those kind of comments again. No, nobody, because right now they are saying that. You know, one with God is majority. Oh, Dela right. And today we can say thank you. Dela right, thank you. Our prayers, you see, our prayers are working for this girl. Until that day, I can't wait for the day that she will be returned, the day that they will bring her back. I can't wait for the day, that she will be with, Kabiyesi again. She will be free to be seen publicly with Kabiyesi. I'm waiting for that day, so that we get to see wetin una go talk on that day. Oh, it is not a small something. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my sweet people. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my super people. Daylight, my daylight, my daylight, my own people. God has shown himself strong in the life of Olori Naomi. They went to go and beg these people to forgive them. And the women say, what can we do? And we are both Kabiyesi. We have forgiven you people, oh. You're your own. If you do anyhow, you see anyhow. Going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.